A couple of years ago, I'm in Vegas with my parents, my brother, and my sister, and we're at this adult hypnotist show. Because we're all adults, and we couldn't get tickets to anything else. And the hypnotist is looking for volunteers. So I immediately raised my father's hand, and in the process, my brother Todd and I and my dad end up on stage. And we're with a couple other people. And the hypnotist seats us all in a row facing the audience. The lights lower. This organ music plays, bum, bum, bum. And the hypnotist says, "You will concentrate on my voice. And when I say so, you will play an instrument like you've never played before." And I'm thinking, great, because I've never played an instrument before. I actually played violin for one day in 4th grade. And then the orchestra music starts. The hypnotist goes like this. And I start playing violin. I'm not really hypnotized. I'm just a little bit of a ham, so I'm going with it. And I'm hitting all the right notes. I actually recognize the piece. Not that I'm a big classical fan. I recognized it from a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And I'm doing these fancy things with the bow, and I finish on the right note and drop the imaginary bow, and the audience is applauding. And it's fun, but I'm ready to get off stage. But I can't, because I'm part of the show. And then the hypnotist singles me out and says, "Every time you hear this piece of music," and "Ring of Fire" plays, that Johnny Cash song, he says, "you will feel like your butt is on fire. You'll feel like it's burning. And the only way to relieve it will be to rub it somewhere on the stage. And after you rub it on that part of the stage, you'll have to rub it on a different part of the stage." Now, look, I'm a team player, but I got this pale green linen sport coat on, and then it burns, 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 that ring of fire, and I am scooting my butt all across the stage. And again, I'm not hypnotized. It's just, everyone else on stage was being hypnotized, including my dad, my brother Todd. And, I just didn't want to be the guy that brings the show down. I mean, the show's been running for like 30 years. But now I have to pay attention, which is not something I'm great at, because, I have to keep the charade going. And the hypnotist keeps on reminding the audience, and the louder you get, the dirtier I'll get. And the audience is clapping, they're stamping their feet, and he's doing this thing with the microphone like a penis, going zoop, zoop. And then he says to us on stage, he says, "You will all imagine yourself naked, and you will be auditioning for a porno." And then he puts his empty chair in front of us, and he says, "This will be a partner." And I have this blank look on my face, which I imagine someone under hypnosis would have. I'm like, but inside I'm like, "Abort! Get off stage! You've done your mitzvah! Leave!" And then the porno music starts. Bow, chicka, wow, wow. And the hypnotist points to my brother, Todd, and he gets up there and starts grinding on this, empty chair, which was part horrifying and part hysterical at the same time. And then this woman gets up there, and she's seductively bouncing on the chair, very seductively. And then this guy gets up there and turns the chair around. It's a little rough with the chair. I kind of felt bad for the chair. And then the hypnotist calls up my dad, my 80-year-old dad. And he gets up there and starts sashaying like this animatronic bear towards the chair, which apparently is how he has sex. I mean, like, who knew? And then the hypnotist points at me. It's my turn. And I'm thinking, there is no way I'm having sex with this chair. I'm not going to do it. I'm not hypnotized. My mother and my sister Allison are in the front row. It's not happening. So I start gyrating a little bit. And then I'm gyrating some more. And then I'm holding up the chair, and I'm spanking the chair and talking dirty to it. I had come this far, too far. And then it burns, 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 that ring of fire, and I am back to scooting my butt across the stage. And, and then the hypnotist snaps us out of it, and the lights come on, the audience is applauding, and my brother comes over to me and lets me know that him and our dad were faking it this whole time. And, I went into this thinking that we were fooling the audience. But at that point, I kind of felt like we were the fools, having sex with the chair and me ruining my linen jacket. But what made me feel better was just knowing that anything that happened up there, no one else is going to see it. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And then my mom approaches me, and she says, Craig, you are very good. And then she says, just so you know, I bought a copy of the show on DVD.